Premier League is what we thrive. Welcome to the review of GW5.
On the Plot Malaysia.
Hello, welcome to the Plot Malaysia. This is our 82nd episode. This is the show for the fans.
Fans. We're back.
Woo! We are back after 6 days. Today we got lots to talk about, guys. This is the review of GW5 or Gameweek 5 of the Premier League. And guys, we are not alone on this, okay? We have a very special guest to join us. Hurry, do you want to do a bit of a drum roll to get this going, man?
Let's go.
We have with us the host of Spurs Asian TV, Eugene.
Hi guys.
Hey.
Hi guys. How you doing?
Good,
welcome,
good.
Eugene.
We're very, I think you can see we're both very excited. We're back.
Yes.
We've been missing for a week. Plus, obviously, the weekend's gone brilliantly for us, Eugene. I see a bit of a grimace in your face today, so we're going to let you let rip today, my friend. I don't think you had the best weekend. We're going to give you the opportunity today to let rip and let us know how you feel as well, man. But hey, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining us.
No problem, guys. Always my pleasure. Right, you guys are doing so well. Okay, and keep up the good job, guys. All right.
And same to you, and Spurs Asian TV as well. So, guys, the viewers out there, if you're a Spurs fan, tune in to Spurs Asian TV, subscribe, hit the like button, and watch their videos. It's amazing. We are so happy that we have once, of course, been there before. Definitely looking forward to work with you again. Definitely. Yeah. So, Hari, what do we have in store for our dear Eugene and the viewers today? Tell us.
I mean, we've got to review the weekend's game, right? There was matches, right? There was some fantastic matches this weekend. Eugene is on because obviously one of the biggest matches the weekend was Spurs versus Chelsea. And we will talk about that, guys. We've got another special guest joining us fairly soon, a Chelsea fan. So we'll let them have a go at each other very shortly.
Politely.
But in the meantime, we're going to review the matches from the weekend. And guys, before we get started, hit a like to the show. Do subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell notification so you're kept updated on our future episodes as well. So, Ram, before we get started, before we jump straight into some of the key fixtures of the weekend, I think let's very quickly go through the results from the weekend. So, the Friday match was Newcastle Leeds, and my man, if you didn't see the highlights of this game, catch it, guys, because it was all about Alain Saint-Maximin. This man deserves a move to a big club. I think he's absolutely brilliant. He's skillful. He takes the team on his shoulders. He doesn't hide. I've been very, very impressed with him. So I thought, good point for both sides, I would say. Newcastle had a bit of a slump. Leeds have been going through a bit of a slump. I think both teams are still winless, if I'm not mistaken, in the league. So point apiece. Wolves lost at home to Brentford. Brentford flying high. Ivan Toney, my man.
What an outfit they are, man.
Yeah, I think he should get selected or picked for the next England squad, by the way. Arsenal, 2 wins on the bounce. Difficult game against Burnley away. I spoke about this, Ram. I don't know if you remember, but I said Arsenal have a good squad. I think they're going to pick up points now. They've got a really good, very young, but very dynamic first 11 and a bit of a strong bench as well. So I fancy them to climb the table. We're going to talk about Liverpool, Crystal Palace, guys, obviously, because, well, I'm a Liverpool fan, so we're just going to have to do that. 3-0 to the Reds. Comfortable win, I would say. Man City, this was a surprise result of the weekend, guys. 0-0 at home against Southampton.
Happy.
The best part, Southampton had more shots on target than City, which is very, very interesting.
Okay.
Something we will talk about.
And MCT only had 25,000 fans in the stadium.
Yeah, even after Pep begged them to come to the stadium, well, that tells you the state they're in. A bit of a small club, that one must say. Going to throw that out there. Watford. Norwich continue their slide down the table. Lost 3-1 to Watford. Been really impressed by Ismail Assar. If you guys are playing fantasy league, have him in your team. He's in my team. He scored a ton of points again. He looks a top player. Aston Villa 3-0 comfortable against Everton. Rafa Benitez, first defeat of the season. I don't know if you guys
on Merseyside.
I don't know if you guys caught this, but a guy that really impressed. He went off injured, but Leon Bailey.
Oh, he was brilliant.
He came on. I think he had an assist and he scored a brilliant goal. He looks a top player, the Jamaican. Brighton continue their fantastic starts the season. I think they're top 4 now.
12 points.
I think for Brighton, right, Mr. XG is coming good, right? Last season he was Mr. XG, right? So this season I think all the XGs are all coming good. So somehow or another they're looking very, very good.
No, I've always liked Graham Potter as a manager. I think he's brilliant the way his team plays. And to be honest, yes, Tanvir, welcome. You'll never walk alone, my friend. Of course, you'll never walk alone.
Another walk alone.
Yes, welcome. Big up, guys. But yeah, I mean, Brighton really impressed by them, guys. I mean, I think he's doing a fantastic job, Graham Potter. Last year, they were dominating games but not scoring. Now they're dominating games and scoring goals. More pay. Danny Welbeck's getting on the score sheet. I've been very impressed with Trossard. And the man who's definitely going to get a big move, I think, very soon is Bissouma. He looks a brilliant player. Yes. Absolutely brilliant player. And then, of course, West Ham 1, Man United 2. We're going to talk about this game, man. United got very, very, very lucky.
Hey, a win is a win. A win is a win. A win is a win.
And then, yes, Hanishka will definitely talk about how De Gea played. I think he saved them again.
Yes,
just as he always
Hanishka,
does.
De Gea, the man.
7 years. And then the big game, which we will discuss when Ankit comes on. Spurs 0, Chelsea 3. A bit of a pasting in that second half, I must say. But yeah, guys, so those are the fixtures. We're going to talk about 3 games in particular. And we're going to start with, obviously, we wanted to start with Spurs, Chelsea, but we'll save that for later. Let's start with the lucky United team.
Hello.
The extremely lucky United team.
Watch your words, Hari. Watch your words. It was brilliant by De Gea, man.
I think this game, I think this image describes the game the best. David De Gea has saved them for the 88th time in the last 7 years.
Please.
So yeah, we're gonna have to start with that.
Guys, you agree with Hari? United fans out there, you agree with it? Can you please comment and say something to Hari because he's talking too much.
There you go. You got a message come in. They were very, very lucky. So listen, I mean, let's get straight into the game, Eugene. I'm going to ask you about this round, but let's ask Eugene very quickly first, right? What was your take on that game as a third party, unbiased? This thing. How do you think the game went? What was your thoughts on the game in general?
Guys, just to tell the truth, I was doing a stream during that game, doing live stream at the time, so I didn't watch it. But of course, while doing the live stream, I had on my panel, right? I think Ankit was with me on that day, on last Sunday, previous Sunday just passed, right? Okay, I'm correct. Previous Tuesday, right? Today's Tuesday. They said, "Oh, West Ham scored. West Ham scored first, right?" Yeah. And then everybody said, "Oh, West Ham scored first." And then after that, I think Ronaldo equalized.
Yes, Ronaldo equalized.
Ronaldo equalized. Then after that, then there was, of course, the ding dong. And then after that, they said, "Oh, there was a penalty," and then De Gea saved it. And they especially brought on Noble just to take the penalty.
Actually, let's get into that, right? Let's get into that. I want to get both your perspective on this, right? We'll talk about Ronaldo. We'll talk about Lingard as well. So I'll give you, Ram. I'll give you your chance, to gloat about your team. But we have to talk about that because I was furious. I've never been furious watching a team not Liverpool play, and being disappointed, or for example. But I was so furious after that game. It took me about 10 minutes to cool down because that decision stunned me, Ram. Because if you remember, we spoke about it during the Euros, right? England, Southgate making the blunder of putting on 2 players just to take penalties. Both of them missed. And he got criticized for that. And then, having seen that, for Moyes to do the same, what were your thoughts on that, man? I want to get both of your thoughts. And let's start with Eugene. What were your thoughts on that decision to bring on someone cold just to take a penalty?
I think Moyes made a big mistake with that. But to tell the truth, Harry, Noble's record in taking penalties, right, is actually 100%. Impeccable until that shot. So I think luck ran out on him. That's all.
No, I don't buy that. I'll tell you why I don't buy. I heard about that stat as well. But in my opinion, I think Rashford's record is also pretty good from penalties. But then he was brought on in the Euro final, and the same thing happened. So there has got to be something to this, right? You're bringing someone in cold.
You forget the European final is different. That's a final. The pressure is 1,000 times more on the homegrown players when you go into a choice like that, because you're talking about something like, you're at home and you're expected to win the cup, European Cup, for the first time in the first time. England, first time to win the European Cup, if I'm not mistaken. They've never won it, okay? And the second major trophy for England. But Southgate made a mistake, is that he didn't bring those players on earlier. He should have brought them on very much earlier, right? Let them have a run in.
So doesn't that apply to that game as well? Because he brings him on just for that kick in stoppage time.
Yeah, in stoppage time.
And not just that. In fact, in the case of Rashford and Sancho, at least they had a chance to warm up. Noble didn't even get a chance to warm up, make a run down and warm up. So he comes on. The first thing he has to do with cold feet, basically, is take a pressure spot kick. So in my opinion, I think you're opening yourself up to criticism by doing something like that. At a spot kick at the end of the day is 50-50 anyway. Why not get someone like Declan Rice or someone to take that penalty?
I understand, but the thing is that before Moyes put on Noble, I'm sure Moyes have asked Noble, are you up for it? Simple as that. Right? Or maybe Noble wanted to take it.
But that's not a decision for the player to make, isn't it? This is on the manager. What do you think about this round? I want to get your thought on it as well.
I feel spot on, Harry. I agree with you on that. I mean, I would not have brought a player on cold without any warm-up, especially, or at least giving the player a good 5 minutes a run of a game to get his shooting boots on, maybe get some sweats on, and of course take that shot. I believe Noble is such a player, right? When you give him that kind of a time, I think he would have scored that goal. He would have buried the shot had he played a few minutes, or at least even if he started the game. I think he would have actually scored the goal. But because he was out cold, and the sole idea of bringing him on as a penalty, I think was more like a marketing stunt, if you ask me. Like hero, he's the hero of West Ham. We're going to save the day. And what could be better than Mark Noble coming on and scoring a penalty? I think that was the entire idea of what Moisey was having, because he thought the Gea's record in saving penalties is shit. Anyone could score against him. So I thought I'm pretty sure that those thoughts played into his mind. But to be very honest, as a United fan, I was scared as well. I thought it was going to be 2-2. I thought that's it, game set match 2-2. Fine, we take a point away. But De Gea, having said that, I'm just going to say this season so far, since it started, I think De Gea has played his best games so far. He has proven how good he is. So big up to him. And I think, I think, of course, as United fan, I think United deserve that win. That's what I'm going to say.
But Ram, don't forget, in the summer, there were rumors you're going to sell De Gea.
Yeah, well, I wasn't going to sell him.
So going to sell him, right? And I thought if Lloris went, right, I wouldn't mind De Gea coming to Spurs. But too bad it didn't happen again. Yeah,
but it's never going to happen.
Were you satisfied? Were you satisfied with the way United played the round? Because I caught the game in and out, right? I thought in the first half United started well. I think for 15-20 minutes. But I thought the rest of the first half, I thought West Ham had some really good chances. I thought they played really well.
Okay. Here's the thing, Harry. I agree with you that West Ham did have good chances. But in the first half itself, United had 7 shots on target. Don't forget that. That the most in any Premier League team that have actually achieved in the first half. 9 shots in total, 7 shots on target. So the ratio conversion is super high in the first half. West Ham had probably 2 shots on target, in that first half. But yes, I think West Ham
chances fell to the West Ham. I think though they had some really good clear chances.
Probably yes, they could have scored, yes, but I think they didn't have anyone that was clinical enough to finish the shot. But in my opinion, of course, their passing play was good. I think Moyes this time he really wanted to win the game, and I think he was more tighter in the midfield. Declan Rice was running the show for West Ham. I thought he was brilliant.
I thought he was outstanding. He was
outstanding. He was absolutely wonderful. He was making tackles towards Pogba. He won the balls of Ronaldo a couple of times. I thought that he was good. But I think United, on the other hand, obviously having all those players like Ronaldo, Pogba, of course, in the fray, I think they also went out with the purpose of winning the game. Because if you look at last season, Hari, if you remember, when they go into an away game this early in the season, they will be like, okay, sit back, defend, play for the draw. But this time I saw United really wanted to go to win. I think the attitude has changed. The winning mentality is there because of Ronaldo's influence. I think it's going to contribute a lot more. So you're going to see United playing as shit as possible, and they're still going to win the game. So I'm definitely very certain of that.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what my thought process. And Eugene, I like you to chime in as well. I watched United, and I think I think one of their strengths this season is the strength in depth. So they could bring on players to change a game. Like Lingard comes on, scores a goal. You can bring Matic on. You can bring Sancho on, etc. So I think the depth in the bench is really strong. But they come across still as a very individualistic team. So they're going to win games this year, I think, on individual quality and individual moments, as opposed to a lot of team play, like the way Chelsea play or Liverpool play, for example, which is like a machine almost, right? I think they're going to win a lot of games on individual talent and individual play, which is fair enough. It works, so it works, right? All right, Ram, very quickly, before I get to a point I want to make about West Ham and something I want to say, but
I'm always very curious what Hari wants to say. Surely something up his sleeve one.
Actually, let me throw it out there right now. And I'm going to make a strong point here, but I think if Michail Antonio plays that game, West Ham win that game. I really think they win that game, because even without him, they cause United problems. If he plays, I think, because I thought Maguire had a lot of sloppy moments in that first half. And I think if there's a finisher like Antonio who's powerful, who runs the channels, I think he had given them a bit more problem and they would have won that game. That's my thought behind it. But Ram, very quickly, Ronaldo, how did he play? I want to know how Ronaldo played. And I also want you to pick out your top 3 players in the match before we move on to the next match.
Okay, first and foremost, yes, Ronaldo always shines. I thought he played well. I thought he had a few shots on goal. He was brilliant. I know that
penalty. I've got to be fair. He should have had a penalty.
He should have had a penalty, definitely. The third challenge, of course. But I think the referee saw that the referee saw that he kept falling too easily. So I think that's why he felt okay, it's not going to be a penalty. So okay, I'll give the referee that one. It's fine. I think of course Lingard, he came on late, but he did really, really well for me. I also thought I'm going to say 2 more players. I think David De Gea definitely for sure, and I think Paul Pogba was once again, he's showing what he can do in midfield. I thought he was brilliant because his touches were good, the way he got past players were good, because he was so tight in the midfield, and the way he came out of it, the way he was laying passes. I thought he's showing a different side of him.
I'm surprised you said Pogba, by the way, because I thought he had a poor game, and then he was taken off as well, wasn't he?
I think he was taken off, but I felt he played. I thought he played well, in my opinion. I think this is one of those games where you will see this kind of performances, but he would do enough, to really, really make sure that we go forward in attacking. We go forward in attack, and of course, create those chances as well. So I thought he had a fair game. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, what about you, Eugene? Any final thoughts on that game? Anything that stood out for you? I mean, I know you didn't catch the game, but just on the highlights itself.
I think most probably is because MU lost to Young Boys in midweek, so I get that might have played something on their minds, right? And what Harry you're saying, right? There are too many individualistic talents on that MU team at the moment, and I think Ole has not been able to gel them together to play as a team. And they're just surviving on individual talent. Sooner or later, it's going to get found out, right? What if you lose Pogba and Ronaldo to injuries? Who's going to come in? Or maybe if you lose Pogba and Ronaldo to injuries, your team might gel better and play better. Like what happened to us without Kane, we looked so much better in counter attack. But when Kane came back in, we were lost.
Hold that thought now, because we're going to invite Ankit to the show. Guys, let's welcome the man from RCB and Chelsea TV, Ankit, who is a big Chelsea fan, and we're going to get straight into talking about the huge match over the weekend. Hey,
hello, guys.
Hello.
Hey. Great to see you all. Very, very excited. Definitely great to see Eugene again. I know Eugene and me met on his channel just a couple of days ago before the game. But yeah, I mean, again, Hari, I have no change. It's now Almighty Blues FC. Because we are almighty after all, right? And we just proved it. But yes, certainly,
yes, you proved it, and that's why we got both of you on the show this time, because we want to talk about that game. It was the biggest game.
Hi, Ankit, how are you, man? Yo.
Very, very good, mate. Again, thanks for having me. But yeah, certainly looking forward to the chat on that.
Awesome. So we're going to let you guys have a go at each other pretty soon. But I mean, it was billed as the biggest game of the weekend, Ram. But in that second half, it was honestly men against boys, in my opinion. I was so disappointed watching that as a neutral. And I think there's no better way to sum up and get started on the match than the man who really, really stood out, I thought.
Yeah.
Thiago Silva.
Leader.
Absolutely outstanding.
He could have had 2 goals. He could have had 2 goals.
He could have had 2 goals, but the way he marshaled that defense, I thought he was brilliant. So let's get straight into it, guys. Let's start with you, Ankit, the winning team. What were your thoughts on the game? Did it pan out the way you expected it to? Just give us your thoughts on how that game played out.
Absolutely. Like, first of all, obviously, thoughts go out to Jimmy Greaves and his family. Like, the game was, as much as it was built to be the biggest game of the weekend, and of course, one of the biggest in the season. Like, again, Chelsea, Tottenham, Chelsea is always a big game to look up to. As a Chelsea fan, I know that we, despise Tottenham, as into the core, not Eugene particularly, but yeah. But Jimmy Greaves, he's a man who was a legend, in both the clubs, right? As it started off from Chelsea, then went to Tottenham, it was a great tribute. Like, I know it was, it's not right to say, but the fact that we lost him on that day, the first half, actually Spurs were great. Like, I must say Spurs were
fantastic in that first half. Yeah,
absolutely, and they were brilliant. Like, obviously, the news would have affected. I know a few of them, who've been there in the Tottenham ranks, and same with Chelsea. Like, I'm sure at halftime Tuchel has reminded them what this game really means, and I think first half it was probably the fact that they were getting a few people back from injury. I was surprised to see actually Son start, as well as obviously a couple others. Like, I think Eric Dyer and Lo Celso weren't really match fit, but the fact that they started, they were in the groove and they came at us, right? So I think Tuchel, last time I was on the stream also, I said, guys, like, Tuchel believes in watching the team and then probably going big time in the second half. He watches a lot. Like, his tactics are.
He's a tactical genius, the guy. Because I know he watches the game and he makes changes accordingly. He's really swift with it as well. Yeah.
Right, because I called at halftime. Like, I tweeted out saying that we need a Kante. Like, Kante is something, that energy we needed. But like a lot of us people who tweeted on any social media told that probably we'll wait till the hour mark. That's the usual management, and you kind of go with that. But changing at halftime, obviously he has spoken a lot to Kante, and I think Kante with Jorginho especially, right? I mean, that gives Kovacic again someone who I always praise, but he gets the freedom to play the ball more. So he was getting a lot of the ball. So if you notice, Kovacic was taking a lot of the left flank of the midfield. Although we were 3 in the central midfield, we weren't really playing like that. We were playing like almost still 2 central midfielders, and with Kovacic getting the free room, right? And with him winning, I think the second goal again, like, he won the ball for Kante and gave it to Kante. And defense, as in, the more I talk about it, will be like less. Thiago Silva and Christensen, right? This guy has really grown. Like, to speak about boys,
very, very underrated.
Speak about boys to men. Like, this is a person who's actually become a man over the summer. Like, I can see a change. Christensen, probably starting from the Champions League final, right? The moment he replaced Thiago Silva after 45 minutes in the final as well, and this match, and I think Silva has helped him as well as Rudiger. Like, obviously you have a player like Silva who's in the team. At this stage, he's doing what he is. Like, again, nothing against the Man United fans, and obviously in the panel we have one, a great one at that. But Ronaldo is often praised a lot for his work ethic at his age. But I think Thiago Silva doesn't get that, unfortunately enough. Like, he deserves a lot more praise than what he gets from neutral media, right? So for me, yes, he was a difference maker along with Kante. And the second half, it's not only the domination of the ball. I think Tottenham, for some reason, stopped kind of doing something else. Like, they had to change as well. So Nuno probably missed a trick there. He probably should have made his changes far earlier than, I think he did about 67-68 minutes he waited for, and then he made the changes. By then we were already 2-0 up.
To be honest, the changes didn't really work as well. But let me hold the thought there. I think Ram was also keen to know this, I'm sure. But Eugene, there was a big change. Anyone who saw that game, there was a huge shift in that second half. First half display, I thought Spurs edged it, actually. I thought Nuno got his tactics spot on. I was a bit surprised.
They were playing good football. Spurs are playing very good football.
I thought picking Ndombele was also very good. He was driving in that midfield. I thought it was brilliant in the first half. I was a bit surprised with Kane playing on the left and Son in the middle. Maybe you can shed some light on that. But what do you think caused such a big shift in that second half, Eugene?
Fitness. That's all. Come down to fitness. For the first 25 to 30 minutes, intensity was there. We pressed Chelsea. We fought for the ball, right? We won most of the 50-50 chances, right? And we did create one or two chances, but not clear-cut. So while I was watching the game with another friend of mine, another YouTube content creator, we were watching it on a private watch-along kind of through WhatsApp. We were saying, if we don't score, we're going to get whacked, right? And that's what happened. And to tell the truth, I do pity Nuno, because how would you say, he didn't have much to choose from, right? If he didn't put on Son, who could he have put on? Son, we knew is not 100%. I think he was more or less at 70, right? Because by the time the second half came, right, he wasn't running into the empty spaces anymore. Whenever he went up to defend, he didn't come back up to attack, and that wasn't Son. So there was a problem with Son. Ndombele, we Spurs fans have been crying about his fitness levels and all that. 45 minutes, he put it in. After that,
he fell apart.
He disappeared.
He fell apart.
He disappeared. Not even fell apart. He disappeared, right? And then to bring in Lo Celso, okay, and Dyer. Lo Celso, COVID debacle, stuck in Croatia with Sanchez and Romero. Romero played, but Romero didn't play to the end. He was brought off too, right? And then changing with Sanchez and Dyer, all right? Dyer,
what was the reason? Sorry to interrupt you, but what was the reason that Lucas Moura didn't play? I've been very impressed
injured.
With Moura
He was injured in the Rennes match.
Okay.
Rennes match, to tell the truth, I think Nuno made a slight mistake there. He put on a lot of first teamers, and the Rennes match turned out to be a kick fest. And the referee didn't protect our players. They were just hiking us down throughout the first half. Not even one yellow card came out. So that turned out to be a very frustrating match. Then we lost Stevie B. All right. How are we going to play counter-attack without Moura and Stevie B? So I think Nuno had no tactics to play with in the end. So he was stuck in that kind of mode.
Bergwijn was injured as well, is it?
Yeah, Bergwijn was injured too. Yeah, Bergwijn was injured.
So I've been very impressed with the both of them. I think Nuno has his tactics in the early part of the season have involved both of them with the pace of the counter-attack. So I actually
that's what I was saying.
I agree with you that I think
if the same team that played M City, right, played against Chelsea that on that day, right, it would be a totally different result because we would have sit back, let Chelsea attack us, and we will counter with speed. But the problem once you lose Bergwijn and Moura, how are you going to counter with speed?
There's no pace in it.
I have a question. I have a question for Eugene. I think as we've seen Spurs, I think 3 games in the beginning, all 1-0 wins, and you only scored one goal from open play. So what has Spurs got to do moving forward? I mean, like, having said that, you guys have lost Bergwijn and some of the players that you've mentioned, right? Now, what does Spurs have to do? Because they do have the pace to go forward, but goals seems to be a problem for them, isn't it?
Yeah. Last year we relied heavily on Son and Kane combination, and I think Jose knew how to use them and milk the best out of them, and I think Nuno doesn't. That's part one. And of course, don't forget the Kane saga throughout the summer transfer window. That has actually, I think, Kane, to me, right, it's not the same Kane that was last season. Number one, maybe the defeat at the Euros has affected him mentally, okay? And then he didn't get his move to M City. That affected him mentally. And don't forget, he didn't get his move to M City has affected Pep mentally too. Right?
Correct.
So in their day, I think it's a vicious cycle. Spurs fans have always been harping about our owners, right? How to move forward? Get rid of our owners. That's how we move forward.
Or move Kane. I think you need to free Kane. Like, that's the solution for me.
No, it's not any free. Anke, I tell you, you can bring in whoever the top. Even that's why Conte didn't want to come to us. Remember? There is a sign there that it's because of that level of the hierarchy doesn't allow you to progress, doesn't have ambition, right? They only want top 4 to get in the Champions League, to get the money, all right? For 13 years, we've been going through this. When we were with Harry Redknapp, we were like 2 or 3 players into challenging the league. No, we sold Bale, all right? What else happened? We got 7 players. Out of 7 players, 1 was good. The other one stayed for 8 years and got transferred to Sevilla.
And the one that was good was the cheapest one as well. I think it was Christian Eriksen. He was one of the cheapest
and the cheapest one. Yeah.
Let me ask you a question, right? Ram asked you a question about where do you see Spurs moving from here. I mean, I heard a lot of Spurs fans after the game, and having listened to them, a lot of them were disgruntled actually with the manager. Where do you stand on the manager?
To tell the truth, can't blame a manager. He's an average manager. All right. He's no Conte. He's no Pep. He's no Klopp. Right. To tell the truth, Levy made a big mistake. Right. We were supposed to go for Tuchel.
No, we were supposed.
Yeah, he was an 8 or 9 or 10 choice. We were supposed to go for Nagelsmann.
Yeah.
Nagelsmann. Yeah.
We were supposed to go for Nagelsmann in January last season, but somehow or another it was delayed until Nagelsmann went to Bayern. So the problem is at the top. The problem starts from the top. It comes down to the bottom, and he's very smart. The fans shouted for a director of football. I get you a director of football. Then the director of football become a shield for all the mistakes, right? And then a lot of people, the Spurs fan base was going, Paratici, the Don, blah, 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 right? But for me, a realistic Spurs fan for so long, right, I said, who signed the checks? Who is going to okay the deals, right? Paratici could have brought Ronaldo to us, but Levy wasn't willing to pay for him. No deal, right?
This is where I stand on it, right? And Ankit, I'll let you get in on this as well. You're probably happy with disgruntled Eugene on the other side, a Spurs fan. There must be a lot of happiness in you somewhere as a Chelsea fan. But this is where I stand on this, right? I think Nuno needs time. I'm not going to put a blame on him, obviously, because if you offer the job, you take the job. And I think you can't judge him yet because he hasn't really had his team. I think a lot of signings were made late. Kane, there was a Kane saga going on at the back. He's now lost a lot of players through injury and COVID issues, etc. So I think he needs that time, right, to get his squad together, players fit again, and then let's see how he performs. So I think you guys just need to bear with him for a little bit. I think he will probably come good.
No, if Nuno, right, can make the team, right, play the first 45 minutes we play against Chelsea.
Yep.
They continue over to the next 45 minutes plus
that's a fitness 10 minutes. But that's a fitness issue,
that's
right?
That's the fitness issue, yes.
So if he gets the players fit again,
I'm sure they'll be able to.
And then if he gets the speedsters back in Bergwijn and Lucas Moura, he'll get a chance to play the way he wants to play. So I think you just got to bear with him. But
we have to. No choice.
The problem is you don't really have time because you have an up and coming, a dangerous, a flying Arsenal. Your North London derby mates coming up next. So that's going to be very
catching up. They are catching up.
Before we get to that and quickly ask you about that game, Ankit, your thoughts from a Chelsea performance? You obviously spoke highly about them. For me, right, there's something that apart from Lukaku, the obvious, Thiago Silva, Tuchel getting a lot of the plaudits. Everyone keeps saying Chelsea the hot favorites because they're playing well. They've got a good manager, but their squad is very deep. And they say that's the difference between Chelsea, City, and Liverpool, right? The depth of the Chelsea squad. Now, I have a question because this is where, as an outsider, I'm a bit curious. People say that Liverpool's squad isn't deep because if they get an injury to Virgil van Dijk or Mo Salah, for example, they're finished. Now, in my opinion, Virgil van Dijk is the best defender in the world. Any team has him, they lose him, they're finished. Right, so I think it's a very stupid argument. So I want to throw.
I disagree as well, Ankit. I echo your sentiment.
Come on, it's Thiago Silva. Come on, we just watched Thiago Silva's sensational performance, and you're saying that. But yeah, go on. I don't.
You get my point though. If you lose a player of that much importance, any of the top teams will suffer. It's not just Liverpool, so you can't blame that on squad depth. The question I have is this, right? I find the only flaw that I can find in the Chelsea team, not even a flaw, is the center of midfield, because I feel that there's one player in there that seems to be an ever-present for you all. You rotate sometimes between Kovacic and Kante, but the guy who seems to be an ever-present there is Jorginho.
Yep.
Now, my question to you is this. He can't play through the season, obviously. I don't think you can play every game through the season. If he's taken out of the equation through an injury or something of that nature, do you think you guys can cope? Is that going to be a huge loss? Because I feel he's the key to you all ticking. Like, maybe you need to. Maybe I can ask you this as well. Was he playing with Saul that day, or was he not playing when Saul played?
Yeah. So no, exactly. So he was actually got on, and Saul got off. So for me, as in Saul,
that kind of explains things. I mean, I know Saul was new and had a bad game, but Kovacic was playing, but they were still poor. So the question, the person I find that's key in that midfield is Jorginho. They rotate between Kante and Kovacic, but the ever-present is Jorginho. So if he's out for a certain period of time, do you think you guys are in a bit of trouble?
See, then again, hindsight will be a beautiful thing. And talking about ifs and buts right now, we can always do that. Like like a Liverpool, like you said. Like I agree, Virgil van Dijk out of the team, Alisson out of the team. Those are two huge cogs for you, and that's for any team. Like talk about I think Man United, not right now, but Man United of the past. Take Ronaldo out of that side. Even though they had the Rooneys of the like, the Scholes of the like, the Giggs of the like, for them, that prime era, I think Ronaldo was key for them winning titles. I don't know if Ram would agree or disagree, but I actually strongly believe, and it's any side. Talk about Bayern Munich, like Lewandowski's goals. He wasn't playing in the crucial moments when they actually were knocked out of the Champions League, and we were lucky in a way. I have to admit there that Bayern Munich weren't at the full strength because just 18 months ago they beat us royally in the Champions League. Yeah. So similarly, for Chelsea and for any team, like if you take Jorginho out, as in again, people, irrespective of how much ever accolades he gets, they forget that Jorginho is the European Player of the Year, and that's a fact. And let's accept that. And I actually respect, Hari actually pointing out, because yes, he is a main midfield man because he's someone who can play the press game to the perfection, right? To the T. He is basically that kind of player, which again, Kovacic has a mistake in him. Kante is awesome, the best in the world.
I think they're different players, right? Kovacic is a different type of a player.
Exactly.
And the player who seems to make Chelsea kick is Jorginho.
If you lose Jorginho, right, your team will lose the nastiness that they have. Don't forget.
No, I disagree.
Jorginho plays in the way, right, where he does all those niggly little
tackles
things that bring
stuff,
tackles and all that, and pisses off the striker that he's marking in the center and midfield, right? He does all that little nasty little things which actually pisses off the players.
Yeah,
so
he had it here,
that, right? He don't forget, he comes from Italy, all right? That's where
that's
from. All right, so he's got that smack on in the center of midfield, and that's how they break down the play. That's
sometimes I envy Chelsea in that sense, because Jorginho was, I think, born in Brazil but raised Italy, and then he became Italian, right? United, we have Fred, who's a Brazilian, but people are confused whether he's Brazilian or not. Anyway,
I have a big point to make, guys. So I get that point about Fred totally, but I think we have to talk about Saul here, because that was one of the main reasons why Tuchel wanted Saul, not just this season. He's went on record saying that Tuchel actually wanted him while at PSG. Saul comes from the Simeone school of thought. So he is basically having that ability, and he's played that game. I know he's not been at his best the last 12 months, but he's done that in the past. Of course, not a Jorginho level, but certainly, right up there as well. So if Jorginho misses those 15 games you're talking about, as in, first of all, he's very fit. That's good again. Saul can come in.
No, but he's very fit. But with the games coming up, with Champions League, with the
it will be okay, Hari. It will be okay.
He's not. I don't think he can play every game. I think you're going to have to rotate players. I think you're going to have to rotate players at some point. So, and he seems such a key player with Saul still adapting to the league. I personally, I find that's where Chelsea's problem is going to come in.
I think this is what I think. Okay, I think that Saul in the Premier League, he still needs to adjust, in my opinion. But I feel if you,
I disagree with all you guys. Sorry about this. I have to disagree with all you guys, because we are reading into 45 minutes of football. He's at 45 minutes in England. Come on. That is too early for anyone, even Ronaldo or Messi to come in Premier League.
No, come on.
So he's at 45 minutes of football, and and Jorginho himself. As in, guys, we're forgetting Jorginho was definitely criticized. I myself criticized on Almighty Blues FC and every channel that I was on as well. Jorginho is now the European Player of the Year. So give people time. The difference, Hari, is that Saul will be playing with Kante and Kovacic. We are forgetting it's not just Saul by himself. Next to him, who will be there, right? So imagine a Kante and a Saul together. Like, I still feel that it will do the job. Again, you're not talking about 40 games. You're talking about 15 games.
Wasn't Saul partnering with Kovacic or Kante the other day?
For 45 minutes.
Yeah, so my point is, I know 45 minutes doesn't define him, but just like you said, with all players of that quality, including Thiago, for example, who came in, with that kind of quality, you take time to adapt. Thiago took months to adapt. Saul will take time to adapt. It's the Premiership. So I pointed out to the fact that I find Jorginho makes that team tick. Tuchel knows that. That's the reason why he plays him every freaking game. So my question is, if he has to, in any point of time, come out or he tires, because you got to remember, he played in the Euros. He went all the way to the final. He hasn't had much rest. He's played non-stop basically for the last year and a half. He's gonna tire. He's gonna need rotation. Will Chelsea be able to cope? That's my only question. But I suppose time will tell, right?
Crossing my fingers.
Yeah,
that's all I can say.
No, I think they will cope.
That's the only place I feel where there's a little bit of a doubt.
But-
Everywhere else, I think you guys are well.
But Harry,
will
I just
cope,
want to
they
say,
will
I just want to say this to Chelsea, because I think watching Chelsea play in the past few games, I think Chelsea really looks like a very dangerous
No,
outfit
they're the most.
at the moment.
They're the most
Yeah.
complete team. The most
Yeah,
complete
yeah,
team.
yeah.
Hot favorite.
So
I'm
Along with
just trying.
Liverpool,
I'm just
I
trying
would
to
say.
play devil's advocate and trying to pick out a small thing,
No,
that
no.
will give a
Ankit,
team like Liverpool some hope, basically.
Yeah. To tell the truth, right, we should have been like 5-6-0 down if Werner could have put it behind the net.
He finally got an assist, at least so some confidence. Poor guy, he's been taking a lot. So I would actually encourage him, for that assist. But yeah, I get your point totally.
Yeah.
All right, cool,
great,
guys.
great,
Listen,
great.
we will move on and obviously talk about the other big game this weekend, which involved my beautiful team. But before we get there,
It's a big game. I don't think so.
before we get there, Ankit, maybe you can just I want to get your thoughts on this. Who were your top 3 players for Chelsea in that game? The 3 players that stood out.
Thiago Silva, the more I talk about it, the less. Like I said, right? I think he's one. Another player for that game, which I've not still spoken about, is Marcos Alonso.
I thought he was brilliant.
Wow.
That's good. That's brilliant.
This guy was like, I might be talking too much, but he was playing like a Zola for just this 45 minutes, the last 45 minutes. Those 1-2s, that intricate passing, and I think he got the assist as well. He got the corner that won that, goal. So basically, he was actually probably more influential, if I have to say that, than anyone in the game. And I think third has to be Kante, because that changed the game, right?
Yeah. Kante changed the whole
And I have
dynamic
to say,
of the
I have to
game.
say this as well. When I saw Alonso playing in the game, he reminded me of how, in a way, not to say it permanently, but how Trent, is a playmaker for Liverpool on the right back.
Yeah.
I felt Marcos Alonso seems to be like a playmaker on the left. So it sounds like it's going to be a good tussle, in the future as well.
Yeah. But guys, you must always remember, you were playing against Spurs, right? We were in the game in the second half. That's why Marcos Alonso looked so good on the right. On the left, because we had Emerson on the right. Guys, Emerson. And Emerson has not even, Emerson, like you're saying, like Sal. He just came from
SBC, we have
League.
to agree. Locomotive London, as he calls them. It's one of the teams to beat.
And you know what?
That's what he calls Chelsea, by the way.
I
He
know.
used to- and he calls Arsenal the London red color. I remember that very well.
London red color.
Big up,
Red
big
colour
up.
pass,
BC.
red colour
Big up
pass.
to BC, yeah, BC. We had to get in touch, BC. We had to get in touch, right?
All right,
do some Spurs
guys,
content
listen.
together.
Let's move on, because we've got to talk about the Red Boys who are on the top of the table with Chelsea. This is really fascinating, by the way, guys.
And United as well, don't forget, okay?
No, but have you seen this? The coincidence here. This is crazy, right? Same number of points, same number of goals scored, same number of goals conceded, and identical scores in every one of their 5 games so far.
Wow.
Liverpool, Chelsea. This is
Some stat.
one hell of a stat.
Okay,
Right?
all right.
It's a bit
That's
freaky
scary.
in a way.
Well,
But listen,
They
And
can
we
both
also have
share
to
their
talk
stats in a
about-
second.
and we also have to talk about the Eric Cantona celebration from Mr. Naby Keita.
Wonderful goal. He reminded me of Essien against Barcelona.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The left foot, the volley, great.
But I thought the celebration is the one that took the cake. It was a brilliant celebration. It was a Eric Cantona style celebration. So, guys, what were your thoughts on that game? I'll give you my thoughts as well. But what do you guys think about that game? Watching as neutrals, if any one of you caught the game.
Yeah, I caught the game. I watched the game. I did.
Okay.
Because I was hoping for Liverpool. I was hoping for Liverpool defeat, obviously. Obviously, because. But I think Liverpool are flying high right now. Definitely. I think they have the right ingredients. I think. Harry, correct me if I'm wrong. Kanate was playing as well, right?
Right. This is. I was hoping you guys asked me this actually. So.
Yeah. I thought he was good. I thought that he showed he could go forward.
I think what's been very impressive is Klopp has been ringing the changes and still getting the results. So we played AC Milan in midweek, and Mane didn't play. He rested Mane and he played Divock Origi out of the cold, and Origi picked up a brilliant assist for Salah in that game. Had a good game as well. So he made that change. He made that change in midfield as well. He played Keita in midfield along with Hendo and Fabinho against AC Milan. And it was a difficult situation. We were 2-1 down, even though we should have been miles ahead of Milan. But we came back and won. So I think the grit and determination in this Liverpool side is back again from 2 or 3 years ago. The ability to come back from the dead. And then, of course, on Saturday against Crystal Palace, it was 3-0, but I think it was a tighter game. Palace actually played very well. They're a very good sign under Vieira, by the way. They play really good attacking football, as Spurs will probably attest to that. But then again, Spurs lose to everyone 3-0. Sorry about that, BC. But you know what was impressive was, even though it was difficult, Liverpool rode out the storm and they made it comfortable. They won 3-0 comfortably in the end, and it was a completely changed back four. So apart from Van Dijk, everyone else was different. They had Konate making his Premier League debut against Benteke and Zaha on that side. They had James Milner, 36-year-old, playing right back against Zaha. And then they had Tsimikas playing left back instead of Robertson. And they still picked up a 3-0 win. So, yeah.
Yeah, but talking about Tsimikas, I think like that moment is not spoken about enough in any channel that I've watched, right? As in Tsimikas, as in that would have been a penalty, right? To Benteke. I think the guy tripped Benteke, and I don't know how. As in it was not the Liverpool game. Entire weekend, the referees, viewers, I know they were out for a party or what. I don't know what was happening the entire weekend.
They're having an off day, exactly.
Yeah, but I think it wouldn't have changed the game for me. But I'm just kind of putting it out there because Palace, if they had got that penalty, who knows, right? As in the game, they were good at the time, so it was a closer game than you said, that most thought. But Liverpool were overall very good.
Yeah, I thought.
Remember how I was saying Tsimikas? Remember I was saying Tsimikas is playing better than Robertson recently. Yeah, so that's why I was very surprised to see.
Robbo had a very good. He had a very good game against AC Milan, actually, Robertson as well. But yeah, I agree with you there because not better than Robertson. Tsimikas is a very attacking-minded fullback. He's like a winger. He plays like a winger. He takes people on, and he's got one hell of a delivery. He's got a better cross on him than Robertson. So the two goals that Liverpool scored from corners, the first one, the delivery was by Robertson, and I believe the second one as well. Which was by not by Robertson, by Tsimikas, and then by Tsimikas, he's got a brilliant delivery on him from the left. So I think it's a very good weapon to have. And the good thing is we're able to rotate on the left back slot now, whereas last season Robertson
did you guys
had to play every game.
Yeah, did you guys take out Trent in the last minute?
Trent didn't play.
That's why I was surprised. I didn't notice that. Trent was in my FPL.
Okay.
Yeah, it was in mine too. And I was like, got an exclamation mark. I was like,
So late.
So Trent was ill, didn't play, and James Milner, just 2 hours before, I was told he had to play right back against Zaha. And I thought that was a recipe for disaster because he got red carded before when he played Zaha as right back. But he just dominated that right flank. And this guy, when you talk about Ronaldo's fitness levels, you talk about Thiago, you've got to talk about Milner, man.
Yeah.
Record number of games in the league he's played. He's played every position basically: central midfield, left back, right back, attacking winger. He played in his early days, and he never lets you down. He's a proper professional. And again against the speedy Zaha, he dominated that right side. He just shut Zaha out. I thought he got up very well down the right side. He combined well with Henderson and Salah. So I thought he had a brilliant game. The other man that stood out was Mane, of course. 100 goals up for Liverpool. Sadio Mane. Everyone said he's missing chances, but guess what? He's scoring goals as well. So he's back to his best, I think. And then I think we can't forget about Salah again. Top goal scorer in the league, just scores every week basically. Was involved in the first goal, scored a brilliant volley on the second goal. So yeah, I think all's good for us. And the best part is we have only conceded one goal so far. Even though we're making a lot of the defensive changes, we've only conceded one goal so far, and that was Kai Havertz with a brilliant header, right? So I think we're in good shape. And Konate was good on his debut as well. He looks like a promising centre back as well. So I think we're in good shape, man, Ram. I think we're going to give Chelsea a run for their money.
So Joe Gomez is available, right?
I don't know about Liverpool. I think United will give Chelsea a run for their money.
And don't forget.
And Spurs won't be there.
No.
I think I know what Eugene is trying to do. He's trying to keep his manage expectation. So if they do, he'll be like, whoa,
it's always like that.
So, you had a high already. You already had a high, so it's over. So now we come back down to the ground, right? So now we're expecting, not too good things coming.
Yeah, but just from a Liverpool perspective, can't be happier, man. I think we're in good shape. I think the only downer is obviously Elliot's injury, and then not just that. I think Thiago got injured over the weekend as well, so he's probably out for I think 1 or 2 weeks, maybe even.
But that's the thing, right? Timing, like Hari, and then Keita coming good at the right time for you, and then again, no one can replace an Elliot. His, just the youngster vibe that he has, right? And then of course at the wing. But Milner, I think, is one person that you hit the nail on the head. He's one person that, for me, using him is better than an Oxlade-Chamberlain. That's just as an outsider, I'm telling you. Like Milner, even today, I would actually be kind of scared as an opposition to take him, to see him take set pieces, especially, right? He is great at set pieces. So for me, he plays a part that maybe a Thiago, if he's absent, like he can take the set pieces, all the corners and the free kicks and so on and so forth. So I think you are kind of well covered. But again, like I said, there are 2-3 very important players in every side. If they are kind of missing, then you cannot say. Then that's just luck, right?
Against Milan, we were missing Van Dijk, actually. I know we conceded 2 goals, but I thought overall Gomez and Matip played well in that game because it was Gomez's first game back as well. So hopefully we've got cover for that centre-back positions now. So Fabinho, who's been absolutely immense, can just stay where he is, right, in that midfield, because he has been immense as well for us.
I think Gomez is going to leave. I'm just putting it out there that Gomez, I don't see him starting a lot of games come the second half of the year, and probably next summer you'll see those rumors starting again. I think we were very briefly rumored last January that I think some rumors saying that an English player from Liverpool is touted to be wanting to leave, because we at that time were wanting a centre back, and then Rudiger obviously rose up from wherever he was.
Yep.
But I think I can see Gomez probably being someone who could leave. Like I'm just speculating.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but I know that Klopp is a big fan of him, so I think he's just going to rotate his centre backs because he doesn't want an injury crisis like last year. Every one of them is going to get a chance to play, so I think he's going to rotate them, which will be good for us overall. But yeah, I mean, overall, really good from the Liverpool perspective. But yeah, I mean, guys, going into the weekend, so very quickly, I mean, thanks for obviously it's been a brilliant roundup of the matches this weekend. Going into the weekend, there's only one. I think there are 2 massive games actually. Sorry, there are 2 massive games. One of them is the bottom of the table clash. The other one is the top of the table clash. So let's talk about the bottom of the table clash very briefly. I don't want to go into the details. We will do a proper preview. But Eugene, are you feeling confident going into the North London derby? And I want a score prediction from you as well.
To tell the truth, I'm not even looking at the Sunday game yet, right? I'm looking at this Wednesday game. Don't forget, we all got Carabao Cup duty.
Carabao Cup.
First. Yeah, because I need to more or less see what happens in the Carabao Cup before I can make a decision what happens on Sunday.
No, going back, right? If I'm not wrong, it's against Wolves for you all.
Yeah, we're going back to Wolves again, all right? But somehow or another, Wolves can't score at home, right? Especially it proves during the Brentford match that they had.
If they're playing Spurs, they will start scoring at home. Don't worry about that.
I think it's a perfect.
We already played them once. They couldn't score at home too.
The floodgates are going to open.
They're going to score at home again.
They're going to open this midweek.
I think it's going to be a perfect matchup between the 2 teams. So
yeah. No, but the thing is that right now is that I'm sitting here wondering, should we go and play a strong team, or just let the youth go out and do what they can do? If they can't do anything, let it be, because the North London derby is coming up. If we lose that, my gosh, imagine how toxic it's going to be for Spurs.
I think both of y'all can't afford to lose that, right? Both Arsenal and Spurs.
Both of us can't lose. But I think in the end, we might end up as a draw, right? So.
All right, I'm gonna go around very quickly and ask everyone. Just prediction.
Honestly, I think Spurs, after losing 2 games, I think Spurs will come out of this one tops. I think Spurs will win this one 2-1.
A quick question, Eugene: is that home or away for you guys?
Away.
Emirates. Okay, so you're saying Spurs on top,
Spurs on top 2-1. I think so.
Okay,
we've never done too well.
Yeah, for me, I get it's very important for both. Like, again, I would want Arteta to stay there as long as possible. So I don't want Arsenal to lose, even I'm saying a Chelsea fan. But I'll probably, I'll take a draw, right? That's ideal. But I can also see that happening because like both teams will go for it. It's a proper bottom of the table clash, like Arsenal had against Burnley last weekend. But I think, honestly speaking, Spurs have their team and Arsenal are kind of coming back from few people from injury as well. So I can see both teams kind of going for it. And I think for Arsenal especially, this is like a huge cup game. Against Spurs, they always turn up. So I won't be surprised seeing a high-scoring draw, a 2-2.
Oh yeah, probably. Could be right.
Yeah.
So Eugene, you I want to score from you as well.
Yeah, like BC says, it's not bottom table it's mid table
So what's the score? Mid table.
Deep down inside, of course, I want Spurs to win 2-0, right? But I wouldn't mind going away with a draw. Yeah.
Okay, so you think a draw?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna make a prediction as well. I'm gonna make a prediction. I'm gonna go Arsenal. I think Arsenal are picking up form. I think they've got a very decent defense now. Gabriel is good. I think Tomiyasu is a brilliant buy, I think, on the right. And I think in midfield as well, now they got Thomas Partey. I don't know if he's fit, but he looks good with Odegaard, and I think they got Smith Rowe. They got some very
exciting players.
Yeah, they've got some very exciting young players, and Smith Rowe I really like as well. So
Saka.
Yeah, they're picking up form. So I think they could give you guys a pasting at Emirates. Let's see.
Wow.
And then predictions for the big one. Chelsea, Man City. Where is this one being played? Is it Stamford Bridge or?
Stamford Bridge, yes. This is the big one, right?
If Chelsea win this, I believe they go 7 points clear of City. Is that
exactly?
Correct?
Exactly. That's the thing. Especially what happened last weekend. Like for me, again, Man City were lucky even to get that draw. Like that was a nailed-on red card and sending off as a penalty for Southampton. So imagine like the lead would have been even more. But I don't want to kind of jump too much because Tuchel has beaten Pep thrice. Don't forget in last 3 times that we met. So Pep, hopefully for Man City fans, not for us, but for them, he would have learned and he'll probably prepare a bit more and not overthink as well. Like he doesn't play defensive midfielders and whatnot against us. So he'll probably play what is best for Man City. And I can expect them to actually turn up, especially that they've lost, a point last weekend. So again, like I'll take a draw, like Eugene said for Spurs. Like I'll take a draw this weekend. But again, if we are able to get this win, I think it's clear for everyone to see it's Chelsea versus Liverpool, the title race. And sorry, Ram, about that. But yeah, as in for me, this will be the weekend, which will, like, I know it's just a game, but it will really tell us because we have played a couple of top teams on paper, but this is the real top team that we're going to play.
Ankit, just to let you know, Ankit, just to let you know, it's okay because I like to be in, people think that United will not win the league. It's okay. I like it that way because we're going to come out and surprise you guys.
That's no disrespect.
No, but this is very interesting as well, right? Because Tuchel has got the better of Pep the last 3 or 4 times they've played now. So it'll be very interesting to see because I think Pep is going to make a change here. I don't know why, but I've got a funny feeling, even though I want Chelsea to go. I mean, I don't know if I want them to go 7 points clear. Actually, no, I'll probably take a draw here. But I actually think that Pep is going to get a result here. I think he's going to. I mean, I think his pride is on the line against Tuchel, right? I think he's going to pull something out of the bag, and I think they might get a win in this one. Actually, what about you, Ram? What do you think?
I think with everything that's going on with City and of course Pep, obviously, I would take City to win or take a draw anytime. But if I want to be very realistic, I think Chelsea stands a better chance of playing.
I think they're favorites. Yeah,
they're definitely favorites. But I would definitely, hope for, like, as a neutral watching this game, I would really relish a 3-3 draw, man. Seriously. So I'm gonna go with a 3-3 draw on this one. It's gonna be fantastic if that happens.
The thing is, right, Chelsea are hot favorites going into this, but as a Liverpool fan as well, I do want either a draw, but I don't mind City beating Chelsea because I just want the feeling at least that there's hope, that this Chelsea team is not invisible, that someone can beat them. I think it'll take that invincibility away from them, and then at least people will have hope. So that's why I want that.
Like a West Brom game, like, come on, like, don't remind me of that West Brom game that we had. Like, but I think we are really chasing that.
Yeah, I tell you what's going to happen, right? Chelsea is going to smack M City, all right, 3-4-0, right? Pep is going to sulk because we don't have a striker, right? And by the end of the year Pep is going to resign. That's all.
Wow.
Pep is going to go to Spurs.
And then he's going to go to Spurs.
Wait,
I agree with Prashant actually. Yeah.
I wanted to say something.
I agree with Dr. Prashant here because I mean, apart from anything else, I think Pep is hurting, right? Because his pride is taking a beating from Tuchel, and I think he's a master tactician as well, right? So I think he relishes the clash with Tuchel. and he might have something up his sleeve, I think, for this game. He will plan for this game. I think he might have something up his sleeve for this game.
Something up his sleeve is left in Spurs.
Harry Kane. if that was something up his sleeve, based on what I saw over the weekend, that was garbage, man.
I know. That's why. That's why he's garbage now. If he went to MC, he wouldn't be. Is he?
I have to say something earlier. I think, Hari, you mentioned, if Chelsea were to lose the game, you will think that there's some possibility there's hope that some team can beat Chelsea. Yep. That's what you said earlier, right? Ankit, tell Chelsea to come to Old Trafford. Let United come to Stamford Bridge, because our away form is relentless. We will do the job for you, Hari.
Again, I think not United. I think probably in Arsenal, like those teams for whom winning against Chelsea is like a final cup itself, right? So I think probably those are the teams that I'm probably more wary about, because in big games we have the players, we have the manager to really pump us up. But I don't want to kind of talk too much, because Pep, Man City are the champions, and we've got to respect them. And Spurs showed us in the first half, right? We can be taken to task if the other team really intends to. And if City, the way they play, I can see us conceding finally. But again, I believe we are chasing that 2005 record of 15 goals in the entire season, which is for me a bigger record than the invincibility of Arsenal. Like, I'm just putting it out there, it's not spoken about enough, but Tuchel has got us that. So hopefully our defensive record stays, which will help us get points.
By the way, you're not alone chasing that record. There's a team in Merseyside Red who also conceded only 1 goal so far, and no one speaks about their defense. They're also chasing that record, and they've got one.
Eugene, both of us here, our teams have considered goals, right? I think something's going to change this coming weekend. I think it's going to change.
Yeah, for that.
Let's see how that goes, guys. It's been an absolute pleasure, man. Thanks for joining the show. And look forward. This weekend is going to be a cracker of a weekend.
Oh yes, it is.
There's the Carabao Cup, and then the big games this weekend, and then the Champions League again. So it's going to be it's going to be interesting as well to see how the managers rotate their squad. I think in Chelsea's case, so I think that's going to be key as well. I think, in Spurs' case, do you even have a squad?
We got nothing to rotate.
Big up, man. Big up. And then obviously it'll be really interesting to see how that goes. Ram, who's United playing this weekend?
I'm not sure actually. Who are they playing?
Come on, Ram.
It's West Ham in the midweek. I know that it's a cup game that you're playing.
Yeah, it's a Carabao. They're playing West Ham again in the Carabao Cup. So
in the league?
Oh, you're playing West Ham again in the league?
Yeah, in the league. Oh my God.
Chelsea playing the Carabao Cup.
Aston Villa.
Again,
it's kind of weird, right? It always happens. Like,
why so many Premier League games?
Actually, United have got not an easy game as well. A bit of a tricky home game. It's a home game, but it's Aston Villa, and Villa are a good side as well now. So
Harry, who are you guys playing in the Carabao Cup?
We've also Carabao Cup. We've got Norwich away.
It's another Premier League match again. Okay, that's three.
But Liverpool are going to play only the reserves, from what I hear.
Don't forget, Hari. Billy Gilmore turns up against Liverpool. Remember that?
Yep. And then obviously, Billy Gilmore. But Liverpool are also playing the kids actually in that game, so it'll be interesting.
I think United will also reserve squad. I'm pretty sure that's going to happen as well. So
they're playing the reserves. And Liverpool, I think the weekend game is a tricky game. Actually, it's away at Brentford, who are in good form.
You guys. It'll be a tricky game.
Let's see how that one goes.
Yep.
Awesome, guys. Thanks a lot for joining us on the stream, guys. Ram, over to you, man.
All right, man. Thank you so much once again, Ankit and Eugene. You guys have been awesome. We really enjoyed your insights. And of course, I love the banter, between the two of you during the big game. And of course, it really contributed a lot, in terms of what we are doing here in the Plot Malaysia. And of course, we continue to want to work with you in the future as well. So this is not going to be the last time you're going to be here. It's going to be more for sure, definitely. Bob Spur. Thanks. Yes, yes, good to have you on. Thank you so much.
We want to get you on the channel soon.
I want to get you on the channel as well soon. Yeah. But just before I end the show, I just want to say, to all Malaysians, we just want to pay a short tribute to one of the legends who ever graced the game in Malaysia, coaching Selangor and of course Malaysia as well. Rest in peace to Ken Warden. Of course, I had the pleasure of meeting him, and indeed, it's a big loss for the country. So rest in peace. Prayers go out to him and his family, and of course, he's gone, but definitely not forgotten. Yeah.
Ken Warden, Ram. Just a couple of words on Ken. I mean, growing up in Malaysia as well, the 90s, everyone knew Ken Warden. He managed from the UK, but he managed in Malaysia a lot. He managed the Red Giants, Selangor, who were dominant in the 90s, and I used to follow them as well. And he was an absolute legend. They won a lot under him. He managed the Malaysian national team for a while as well. But yeah, he was absolute legend in the Malaysian game, added a lot to the game. So rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Ken Warden, of course, big up in the weekend as well. Rest in peace to Jimmy Greaves, who was a legend as well for both Chelsea and Spurs. So two greats were lost but not forgotten. And indeed, of course, we will see you guys again very soon. So signing off from the plot Malaysia. Join us, guys. This is the show for the fans.
Bye the fans. Guys, I've got to end with this. Right? I don't know if you guys have heard the chant. The Liverpool fans have made a
please don't put a Liverpool chant right now.
Have you guys heard the chant? It's brilliant. It's brilliant, guys. Have you guys heard the chant? Any of you?
Which one? Which is that we're talking about?
They sing it at every game now at the end when they're winning the game. The Reds have got no money, but we'll still win the league. The Reds have got no money, but we'll still win the league. The Reds have got no money, but we'll still win the league. Yeah. Signing off, guys.
Okay,
take care. Have a good one.
Take care, Ankit. Take care, Eugene. Cheers, guys.
Okay,
cheers.
See you in the back room, guys. Yeah.
Bye.